Hi, I'm Renee Rodgers for Queen's TV. I'm standing outside the Policy Studies building, where the Committee Against Racial and Ethnic Discrimination at Queen's is holding its second annual anti-racism conference entitled The Role of the Student in Fostering Change. Let's go in and take a look at what's going on. You mainly get out of the panel today?
Well, this is a different side of Queen's that I've seen, and my experience with Queen's have actually been very positive. I know that some other people have not had such positive experiences, and it was interesting to see this other side for sure. So yeah.
Well, as my friend over here pointed out, my experience at Queen's has been very different. I'm a graduate student here, so coming from a previous undergrad studies at Waterloo, I didn't face so many, racial concerns or racism. The issue of racism was at forefront in my studies at undergrad. Maybe that had to do with the cultural diversity within the city that I grew up in and the university campus that was there. But definitely when I came to Queen's, it was a cultural shock in the sense that the cultural diversity wasn't there that I'm used to. So coming to this panel, discussion made me realize that there is a side of Queen's that is willing to open up and have a discussion about racism and the issues concerning that and about diversity.
One of the panelists had mentioned that Queen's does not have a diverse programs available. A lot of the other universities have faculties that cover a whole range of ethnic and diverse studies. Queen's doesn't really.
One of the big emphases that we're hoping to place is on curriculum for the next year. I've spoken a lot with Barrington Walker about this, but one of the things, and it was actually one of our campaign promises, is to start to establish and start talking about the implementation of new departments on campus, such as Aboriginal studies, maybe African Caribbean studies, Middle Eastern studies, things like that. And I think at the heart of this all is that we've been talking a lot today about, that we need more representation in the administration, and we need more representation in the library. That hasn't been spoken about a lot, but that's kind of a lot about the discourse, that there needs to be more resources for students to study these things. But at the heart of this university are academics, and if we don't have a reflection in the things that we learn, it shows a lack of value that we place on these regions and their contributions to the world. And so I think that that's a huge emphasis that we want to put on next year in establishing these programs.
For me, I think that it's really important that people recognize that embracing issues of difference and diversity on university campuses don't threaten or undermine the concept of academic excellence in any way. I think that was a point that was reiterated several times throughout the panel, and something that I really do believe in my role as diversity advisor to the VP Academic is that taking issues of diversity and equity seriously is a way for us to enhance our excellence as an institution and to ensure that we remain relevant as an institution, right? That we manage in a sense, or that we are able in a sense to keep pace with our peers in universities and larger urban centers who have embraced diversity and who have leveraged that diversity in order to greatly enhance their reputations both nationally and internationally.
It was really interesting that they mentioned marketing, and now that I think about it, my high school was in a high-risk area of Toronto, and it was filled with ethnic minorities. The city of Toronto has even labeled it a high risk, and when we had our university night, Queen's did not show up. There was a table for them. They had a placard saying Queen's University, and there was no one there. It didn't occur to me until they mentioned it.
We need to educate ourselves, and then make sure that those who we are in contact with at the university, whether it's the Alumni Association or the advancement, who are always after us to donate, make sure that they're aware that we would expect things to change.
So we've just had a glimpse at the anti-racism panel. Hopefully this will foster some positive change in the Queen's community. I'm Renee Rodgers for Queen's TV. Good night.